Okay, YouTube. So today in this video, I'll be showing you start to finish A to Z on how to find a distressed property and how to close a real estate transaction. This will be a full guide, a full step-by-step tutorial. Okay. So first, let me go over some terms with you and some things you'll need to know. So first thing you'll need to know is MAO. That's max allowable offer. Okay. This is the max allowable offer you can offer on the property in order to get your desired wholesale fee. All right. You always want to be under or at your max allowable offer. You can't go over it. ARV. This is after repair value. This is how much the property is worth after all repairs are made and it's all fixed up. Okay. The cost of selling is about 6% plus closing costs, which is typically like 1% of the purchase price. So that's like 7% altogether, the cost of selling. Okay. 3% on the buyer side, 3% on the seller side. Typically 3%. Can be 2.5 sometimes, which would be 5%. Okay, next you have investor profit. This is how much the investor nets after they go in there, fix it up, pay for everything, and sell it on the back end as a flip. Okay, and you want that to be 10 to 15% of ARV, depending on your buyer. Okay, this is how much the end buyer will make on the deal. Next, you need to know you have repair costs. This is very basic. Rehabs vary in state to state, but this is just a basic way you can calculate repair costs. Okay, you will never know the exact repair cost of anything, so you can spend hours trying to figure it out, over analyzing. You'll never really get the exact repair cost because everybody is different. Stuff costs different prices in different markets. One buyer might be able to get something done for 40,000, another buyer might be at 60,000. So don't overthink it. A light remodel is about $15 a square foot. A regular remodel is about $45 a square foot. Heavy remodel is about $60 a square foot. Okay. Next, you have holding costs. This is interest payments while the end buyer is holding the property. Okay, so they got interest payments and they got taxes and insurance and things like that they have to pay until they flip the property. All right. Next is JV. This is joint venture. This is when you partner with an experienced wholesaler to help you sell the deal when you're new. Okay, you can DM me JV on Instagram at anthonymars.rei. The JV with me, I have a database of over 500,000 buyers nationwide. Okay, so write this down. I'll put it in the description. And the calculator I use is in the Discord as well. So if you want access to that, you can join the Discord or you can DM me on Instagram. All right, so first thing we have to do is find the distressed property. All right, you can do this off market. Off market is probably the best route to go. I'm not going to go in depth in this video on how to find properties off market right now, but I will show you how to find distressed properties on market. Okay, so you want to come over to Redfin. You want to pick a market. I'm just going to pick Atlanta. Okay, Atlanta, Georgia. And Redfin has a filter for distressed properties. You can go down here, go to fixer uppers. Okay, fixer uppers. That's what you want. Just make sure I'm recording. All right, everything's good. You want a takeaway coming soon. And it's about 217 fixer uppers in Atlanta right now. Okay, so I'm just gonna take a random property that's a little bit too nice. You want something ugly, distressed. Okay, let's get a nice 3-bedroom. Okay, let's say this is your distressed property. Now this is a full gut. For full guts, I recommend $100 a square foot, probably more than that in certain markets. Okay, so full gut. All right. Now next, you wanna when you find a distressed property, you want to comp it. Okay, and the fastest way to do that, to get it around where your ARV is probably at, is with prop wire. Okay, that's the fastest way to do it. This is just a quick analyzation. This is not a deep dive on how to comp properties. If you want to learn that, I have a TikTok where I'll show you how to comp properties on Zillow. But right now, you just want to copy the address, come over to prop wire, want to paste the address like that. Okay, cool. And then they have a comps tab. You want to come over here to the comps tab. You want to zoom out. It gives you a circle within a half a mile. It's pretty good. You don't want to cross any highways or any major roads or anything like that, which is already not doing, so that's good. You want to go sold in the last 6 months, all right? You want to do the same amount of bedrooms, plus and minus about 30 square% of square footage. You want to come down here and take the highest prices per square foot that's sold, okay? So this one for 282. Wait, this is saying this is a 2-1, but Redfin is saying this is a 3-2. Okay, I don't know what's going on with that, but this is just example purposes. You want to make sure it match. So in this instance, you will probably call a realtor to see what it is, but we're just going to keep going to not make the video too long. So you want to take the highest ones. You got 245, 241. You don't want to use this 641 because who knows why it sold for that much, and that's an outlier. It may have been a blanket loan. It may have been a package deal. You don't want to take one that's like too high. So we'll take these three comps right here. You want to typically get three or more. So after that, it averages all of them out and give you a price per square foot and an ARV. And this is a really solid number that we can go off, that we can plug into our calculator just to present an offer. And then later, if we get an offer accepted or we get a counter, we can go in Zillow and really run our numbers to make sure everything is to a T. But you don't want to spend too much time over analyzing. You want to get a quick number so you can tell the seller or the realtor. Okay, so you want to copy this. You want to come over here to the calculator. Boom. All right, so you want to come over here to the calculator. You want to paste your ARV, okay? Then you want to go get your square footage. It's a 1278. And the calculator will give you your repair costs. Like I said, for a full gut, I'll do 100 square foot, $100 a square foot at least. It's gonna be something in a full gut that comes up. So you want to make sure you account for that. So $100 per square foot for a full gut. So we're gonna go 100 times 1278, and that's a 127,800 rehab cost. So we're gonna copy that and we're gonna paste that in here. Okay, boom. So after that, the calculator calculates all the costs I told you about earlier. And with a $15,000 assignment fee, we have a max allowable offer of $98,517. Now, when you present an offer, you don't want to just give your max allowable offer from rip, because then you have no room to negotiate. You're stuck at that number. You always want to anchor low. I will go 15 to 20,000 below this number, depending on the circumstance, and I will give them that number, and then we can negotiate. Okay, and this is with a $15,000 assignment fee. So I will probably go in there, offer about 83,000. Okay, your first offer should always warrant a no. Okay, rarely do a lowball offer get accepted on the first attempt. That's why you have to follow up. Okay, look at this. This is why going after on market is so competitive and annoying, because look where we have to be at. I said our offer is 83,000. They have it listed for 221,000. Okay, so they want top of the market value for they want close to ARV for a full gut, you know, and it's gonna be investors that's gonna pay over your 83,000 that's gonna get this, and they're seasoned investors. You know, they know what they're doing. But we got to get this at such a discount because we're wholesaling it that a lot of on market properties they don't work. But you do want to call this agent, Thomas Clark. You want to call him. You want to negotiate. This is the next step, negotiation. You want to call him, negotiate, tell him, prepare him and nurture him for your lowball offer. Don't just call him and give him your lowball. Ask him what he think it will sell for on the back end, things like that. Ask him about the neighborhood. Tell him all the work that would have to go in it. You know, it's a full gut. You know, cost of labor and materials is up. You know, tell him how you got to your number. Tell him you're not trying to get rich on every deal, but you have to keep the lights on. So break everything down that's in a calculator basically, and how you got to your number. They will take it much better. And then the ask them to present a verbal, and if the seller follows up if the seller responds with a favorable response, then you can follow up later in writing. But for right now, you will do that. You will follow up. You always want to follow up, build a relationship with that agent, because that agent can, you see they work with distressed properties. You want to put that agent into your CRM and follow up with them at least twice a month. Okay, whether that's through text or whether that's through calling. But in this circumstance, just for the video case, let's say the offer got accepted. All right, let's just say we got our $83,000 offer accepted, and now we move on to the next step, which is signing a contract. Okay, so we're gonna go to Doc Hub. All right, drag that over to Doc Hub. Okay, then you want to create document. Okay, we put this disclaimer in here, and this is pretty self-explanatory. Okay, just fill this out. Come up here. You want to come to this A. You want to type the date, which is today's date, which is 03/25/2025. You don't want to abbreviate the date. You want it to look as neat and as professional as possible. You come up here where these four arrows is at, and you drag the date on the line. Okay, Doc Hub is pretty good, knowing where it needs to go. Now you want to come over here, and this is the seller. Okay, you want to fill this out. Let's say the seller was John Wick. All right, put that on the line. And next is the buyer, which is you. You can put your regular name. If this is your first deal, you can use your government name for your first couple deals. Worry about an LLC later. You do not need an LLC to wholesale a deal. All right. And next is the property description. This is just the address. I provide this contract and every contract you need in the Discord. You can join if you want to, or you could just DM me on Instagram. Let's say 123 Main Street, Atlanta, Georgia. Once again, you want to put the whole address, full city, full state, full zip code. You want to make sure that's lined up properly on that line. I don't remember the exact number, but I'll just put 83,000. I remember it was 83,000. Let's just say that's our purchase price. All right. This is all hypothetical. I'm just showing you how to go through the entire process. Next is the closing date. Typically can close in 30 days out. You want to make sure the date you choose is not on a weekend, because title companies don't work on the weekends. So we can do April 25th, 2025. Again, you just want to make sure everything is neat. And you and a realtor will agree on this. Or the seller. Okay, next is inspection period. I typically go with an inspection of 14 days. The minimum you want to do is 7, and this is business days. So 14 business days give you about 3 weeks, three solid weeks to find a solid buyer. You know. All right. Next is earnest money. On market, I typically just go with $1,000. You don't want to go crazy. You're not going to be paying this. The buyer is going to be paying it. So, but don't go crazy. Don't do anything over 5,000 on market. Off market, you can just put $100. They rarely ask about earnest money off market. I can count on one hand how many times that happened to me. And then next, if you had any additional terms that you talked about, the seller or the realtor, you will put down here. And then next, you will come to, well, let me show you. So this is how everything should look once you fill it out. Very simple, you know. Then next, you want to come down here, fill this out. You want to come up here, go to the text bar, and you want to put that on name. Okay, you want to make sure this field is required. All right, you always want to make sure every field is required. That just makes sure the person that's filling this out cannot move on until that field is complete. Next, you want to come to signature, put the signature right here, and then the date. Okay, then once you're done all that, you want to come over here to this box, and you want to type the buyer's email, which is your email. Gmail.com. Please don't email me. I will not respond. No, I'm just kidding. You want to click add twice, and then you want to click assign fields. Okay, so now these fields is assigned to you. All right, now you just want to do the same thing for the seller. Come down here, put their name, signature, and the date. If it was like two sellers, if it's like a husband and wife, brother and sister, you would put it down here as well, because they both had to sign. Then after that, you just come back over here to add and modify people. You want to add John at gmail.com. I'm gonna click add twice. Okay, then you want to come down here to this drop down bar, click on the email, assign fields. Boom. That's simple. Now your buyer and you can sign a contract. All right. Then you want to just hit prepare a sign request. You always want to make sure that the buyer is first. Okay. A lot of realtors don't see this as a valid agreement if you don't send a signed agreement. Okay. So you can move it like this if the buyer is not first, but you want to make sure the buyer is first at all times. You want to make sure a sign-in order is checked. Okay, so the seller can't sign until you sign. Then you want to just click send request. And if you send it to the same email that you signed up with .hub with, you can sign right in here, which you might as well do because you're already in here. Okay, fill in here and Mars. Signature, sign. Just do this. Doesn't really matter. Boom. Then you want to click the date. Okay. Signature saved, and it should look like this. Boom. Done. Finalize. Finalize document. Okay. That easy. Now you should be on the phone with the seller or the realtor, telling them you sent the contract over and they just need to sign now. This is what it would look like. Then they will send you a signed agreement. I'll just download this just to show you guys what to do next. Okay. Then next, you want to find a title company. Okay. So we're just going to open a new tab. Boom. Then you want to find a title company in the city or the area wherever you have the deal under contract. So you want to look up Atlanta title company. Boom. And you just want to pick one that has good ratings, okay? Call these, call them up, say, hey, I have a real estate deal under contract. Do you guys deal with wholesalers or investors? Do you guys know how to close those type of deals? They're either going to say yes or they're going to say no. If they say yes, great. You can email them to open escrow. If not, you have a lot of options to call. Someone will deal with wholesalers and know how to close a wholesale transaction. Okay, so that's how you find a title company. So let's just say we um we found a title company and they say they work with wholesalers. Now we have to email them to send them over the signed agreement so they can open escrow and make sure the title is clear. All right. So say they gave you an email on the phone. I just say ATL title at realestate.com. Okay. Put the subject line, new order, and we'll say, please open escrow for attached documents. That's simple. Boom. And you just attach the purchase and sales agreement. Boom. Make sure this is the signed window from the seller. This is just hypothetical. So okay, boom. That's what you would do, and you would click send. Boom. That easy. Found the title company, found the distressed property, got it in the contract. Now you have to find a buyer. Okay. If this is off market, make sure you get photos. Okay. Even if it's on market and it doesn't have photos, ask the seller, can they go there and take pictures? If they can't, you can ask a local realtor in the area. You can pay them. You can go on Craigslist. You can go on Facebook. It's a lot of ways you can find people to take pictures if the seller can't. But a lot of the times the seller can. Or if you're dealing with on market, it's already pictures on market. You can just download them to your computer. All right, cool. So next, we need to find a cash buyer. All right. So we're just gonna go to Facebook. Matter of fact, we're gonna go to Zillow first. We're gonna go to Zillow. Okay. We're gonna go to Zillow. We're gonna type in Atlanta. Okay. Atlanta, Georgia. Boom. Gonna reset the filters. Click apply. You wanna change this to sold in the last 6 months. Okay. Then you wanna type renovated. Okay, renovation or renovated. We'll type renovated. This is going to give you a list of mostly flipped properties that has been recently renovated in the last 6 months. Okay, 958 results. This is 958 potential buyers for your deal you have under contract. Okay, so boom, you want to look at this. You see that this is flipped. It doesn't really have a lot of pictures. Let's go. Let's find something. None of these has pictures, huh? Realtor.com usually have pictures, so you can search Google, go to Realtor.com. Yeah, so Realtor.com has pictures. And you can clearly see this is a flip, right? This is what a flip property look like. So they bought a property, probably from a wholesaler, like how you have a distressed property under contract right now, and they got it for a discount. They paid a wholesaler. They went in here and they flipped it and resold it on the market. So you go down here, you can see usually if it's a flip, they bought it recently, but this isn't the case for this one. They bought it in 2009 and someone just rehabbed it. But anyway, you will call this realtor, Joshua Keene. Usually their number is right here, or you could just search them up on Google. Hey Joshua, I see you recently sold 123 Main Street. It was a flip. I have a very similar property in the same area. I just wanted to know if you were still working with that investor. They would probably say yes. If they say no, just go to the next one. If they say yes, say awesome. Can I get your email so I can send you over all the details, and you can see if your investor want to take a look at it. If they say what's in it for them, say you're providing value to your client, and when they list it on the MLS after they flip it, you can list it for them and get that money on the back end. Okay, they'll say cool. You send them all the details, the whole bid, bath, square footage, everything, what you have it under contract for. Well, not what you have it under contract for, how much you want for it. Everything. Is it single family? What year it was built? All that. You want to send them comps. When you do your comps, you want to send them everything in that email, right? And just, I'm not going to do all that right now because the video will be way too long. But let's just say the agreement, the buyer wants to buy it, okay? Say you reached out to like 10 realtors and an investor wants to buy it, okay? So next, let's say they went to go look at it. Everything went smooth. All right, boom. I'm not going to go over all that right now because the video will be way too long, but it's simple to set up an appointment between the buyer and you and the seller for them to go see the property. Sometimes if you got for a good enough deal and the investor know the area, they won't even have to go look at it, okay? But let's just say your investor wants to buy it, and now you have it under contract. And now they need an assignment contract. I'm sorry. You go here, you go to new document. You want the blank assignment, drag it over here, create document, boom. And you literally just fill in the information. A signer is you. I'm not going to do this all over again because like I said, it's going to take too much time. But the signer is you. Okay, put your name right here. Boom, type your name, type your address, type your email, phone. The assignee is the buyer. Okay, get their information. Boom. Loan balance if this is a subject to deal, entry fee, assignee purchase price. Let me see here. Okay, if this is subject to, we don't need to do that. Entry fee, that would be the total purchase price, and assignee purchase price will be what they're paying for the property plus your assignment fee. Okay, so we got it locked up for 83. Let's say we wanted 15K. We would type 98,000. Okay, boom. And once you do all that, you do the same thing I showed you in the first contract. Come down here, get signatures, boom. Assign the fields, do everything I did in the previous contract. Once again, not gonna do everything again because it's gonna take way too long. Okay. Once you get this assignment of contract signed and buyer is ready to submit EMD, you want to go back to the email. At this point, you'll probably have the title company number. You'll be in contact. You can call them, say, hey, I'm about to email you over the assignment of contract, and how can my buyer submit EMD? They'll give you all that information. They'll make it super simple. Now, EMD is submitted. Contract is assigned. At this point, title should already came back, so that should be good. Title should be clear. Make sure there's nothing wrong with that. And then after that, next is the closing date. Okay, you want to follow up with the buyer and the seller at least twice a week, all the way up to the closing date. You want to follow up with the title company. Make sure everything is going smooth. Don't just sign contracts and then just wait for closing because stuff can happen. Things come up. You got to make sure the buyer is still on board. You got to make sure the seller is still on board. And you got to make sure everything is going right with the title company. Okay? So at this point, everything is done. That method I showed you on Zillow to find buyers should be good enough. I'm not going to go in depth on how to find buyers multiple ways because like I said, the video will be way too long. But you can also go on Facebook and you can join Facebook groups in the county. So you would go to Facebook, type in Atlanta real estate groups, and hundreds of them will come up. You can just join everyone, okay, and then post your deal in those groups. You can also post it on Facebook Marketplace. All right, and you'll get buyers that way too. You'll just have to vet them, get on the phone with them, ask them how many deals they have done in the past couple months, or the past couple years. As for proof of funds, you can ask them all that. You really want to vet your buyers to make sure they're not tire kickers or other wholesalers. All right, then once you do all that, everything I showed you, and everything is good, you get paid on closing day. The title company will ask you if you want a check or a wire. If you're virtual, get a wire, or if you're not virtual, you can get a check. Or if you're not virtual and you can't get a wire, they can mail you a check. Okay, so it's that simple to close a real estate deal. I just showed you from A to Z everything you need to know to close a real estate transaction. If you still feel like you need to know more, or you want to be more hands on, or you want to learn more extra strategies like subject to, seller financing, things like that, I have a Discord link below where I do lives every day, and I have trainings in there where I show you how to find sub two deals, how to underwrite creative deals, and everything like that. It's a whole community of people, and yeah, if you're just looking for that extra help, you feel like you need more help, you can join the Discord. It's also contracts and calculators in there. It's everything you need. We also do giveaways and things like that. So if you're interested, the link is in the description.